Welcome back to my channel, Famous and Fabulous. The Catholic world was pulsing with excitement. Millions of people worldwide looked at the Vatican City. A column of white smoke, a representation of resolve and solidarity, rose above St. Peter's Square. They had selected a new pope. The 267th successor to St. Peter, Pope Leo XIV, had entered history by stepping upon the balcony. It was a really happy occasion that demonstrated the Catholic Church's ongoing influence. As the new pope gave the city and the entire world his first benediction, the entire world held its breath. A new age in the Catholic Church began with this revered custom that had been handed down through the generations of popes. It was an occasion of great spiritual significance, introspection, and reaffirmation of faith. This was more than just a leadership transition. It was a change. There was a surge of optimism in the Catholic community and beyond. Despite his reputation for compassion and humility, Pope Leo XIV had to bear the burden of expectation. The entire globe eagerly awaited his message of love and peace. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost was chosen from among his brethren prior to the white smoke, the announcement, and the public's knowledge of his name. The Sistine Chapel was the site of the conclave, a revered assembly of cardinals. They discussed and prayed in private, asking the Holy Spirit for direction. This centuries-old custom, which is veiled in reverence and secrecy, is evidence of the occasion's solemnity. As a prince of the Church, each cardinal bears the burden of accountability for the Catholic faith's future. Their job is to lead a flock of people around the world, not to choose a ruler or a politician. The tough selection procedure necessitates a 2/3 majority vote. The fact that the cardinals were able to come to a resolution in just 2 days is evidence of their unity and faith. The white smoke that eventually rose from the chimney above the Sistine Chapel showed that a prayer had been heard in addition to a decision being taken. In anticipation of learning who will guide the Church into the future, the world watched and waited. There was a tangible sense of expectation, which demonstrated the papacy's worldwide impact, and there was a worldwide gasp when Cardinal Vost, now Pope Leo XIV, was introduced. A man of strong faith and steadfast conviction, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost took on the role of leader. His path to becoming pope was one of devotion and service. He was born in Chicago, Illinois. He had lived among the impoverished and disenfranchised for decades while serving as a missionary in Peru. He became a rising figure in the Church in 2015 when he was appointed Bishop of Chiclayo, Peru. Pope Francis was greatly moved by his empathetic leadership and dedication to social justice, and he later named him head of the Vatican office in charge of choosing bishops. Cardinal Prevost's standing as a prominent figure in the Church was further cemented in 2023 when he was promoted to the Cardinalate. He was already known as a man of the people and a preacher who set a good example. Both excitement and a great deal of hope greeted his election as Pope Leo XIV. He was viewed by the world as a manifestation of the Church's dedication to helping the underprivileged and disenfranchised. Both Catholics and non-Catholics loved him for his humility and compassion, which he shared with his predecessor, Pope Francis. His appointment served as evidence of the Catholic Church's global reach and its changing character. For the Catholic Church, the election of Pope Leo XIV was a significant occasion. A son of the Americas had become pope for the first time in history. The election of Cardinal Prevost, who was born and reared in the US, broke down geographical boundaries and marked the beginning of a new period of representation in the Church. His heritage was further enhanced by his dual Peruvian nationality, which reflects the diverse range of ethnicities that comprise the Catholic Church. His Creole heritage gave him an additional dimension of identity and demonstrated how the Church has been present in the Americas since the first days of exploration. The background of Pope Leo XIV reflects the Church's global reach. In a world growing more divided by the day, he stands as a link between the old and the new, a symbol of harmony and understanding. His election serves as a potent reminder that the Church is not limited by national boundaries or cultural distinctions. Across the Americas, There was a great deal of celebration for this momentous occasion. People celebrated the election of one of their own from the busy streets of Chicago to the isolated villages of Peru. His election was interpreted as a tribute to the dynamism and expansion of the Catholic Church in the Americas, a symbol of approval and acknowledgement. Section 5. Social justice, compassion, and a shepherd's heart in the forefront. It is anticipated that Pope Leo XIV's pontificate will be distinguished by a strong dedication to social justice and a profound empathy for the underprivileged and disenfranchised. His pastoral approach and philosophy have been influenced by his years of relentlessly working as a missionary in Peru to better the lives of those living in poverty. He was made aware of the terrible realities of poverty, brutality, and social unrest during his time in Peru, especially during the turbulent years of the Shining Path Rebellion. His determination to fight for social justice was established during these trying times. After seeing personally the terrible effects of inequality and poverty, he made the decision to devote his life to helping those who are most in need. His theological outlook, which was greatly impacted by Pope Francis's teachings, places a strong emphasis on the Church's function as an advocate for the underprivileged and a voice for those without a voice. He thinks there should be a Church that actively addresses issues of injustice, inequality, and poverty in the world. His pontificate pledges to be one of action, driven by the values of compassion, empathy, and a profound love for all people. Leo XIV's legacy of social change and engagement is echoed in Section 6. Pope Leo XIII, who is credited with establishing the Magna Carta of social justice, or Rerum Novarum, is invoked by the name Leo XIV. This statement promoted workers' rights and a just society while addressing concerns related to the Industrial Revolution. Pope Leo XIV seeks to carry on this tradition by using social change to address contemporary issues. The refugee crisis, climate change, and economic inequality will all be addressed during his pontificate. The world looks on, eager, to witness his idea of social justice come to fruition. Section 7. A global community bound together in joy and optimism. Celebrations broke out in Catholic communities and beyond as word spread about the election of the new pope. People with joyful and hopeful spirits came to the streets everywhere from the Philippines to Argentina, Nigeria to the US. People of many backgrounds and faiths found resonance in Pope Leo XI's election, which cut across denominational lines. Global leaders acknowledged the importance of this momentous occasion and offered their congratulations. Messages of congratulations, prayers, and thoughts on the life and work of the new pope flooded social media. The global reach of the Catholic Church was reflected in the #Pope Leo XIV, trending all over the world. The world eagerly awaited this new chapter in the Catholic Church's history, watching with bated breath. Section 8. Handling the difficulties of the contemporary environment. Pope Leo XIV will take over as head of the Catholic Church during a period of significant complexity and upheaval. Global pandemics, political polarization, social instability, and climate change present the world with hitherto unheard of difficulties. With its extensive worldwide influence and moral authority, the Catholic Church can play a significant role in resolving these problems and spreading a message of solidarity and hope. The persistent problem of clergy sex abuse is one of the most important issues confronting the incoming pope. The Church has been rocked by this scandal, which has destroyed trust and caused much misery. In order to mend the scars from the past and rebuild faith in the Church's leadership, Pope Leo XIV is anticipated to handle this matter with openness and responsibility. Pope Leo XIV will have to manage the Church's interaction with the contemporary world in addition to internal issues. Topics like contraception, same-sex marriage, and women's roles in the Church are still contentious and divisive. As he attempts to strike a balance between the Church's historic doctrines and the reality of a changing world, the new Pope's attitude to these topics will be widely observed. A ray of hope for a new age is Section 9. The world looks to Pope Leo XIV, with a mix of expectation and optimism as he begins his pontificate. His history, life lessons learned, and church vision provide insight into the direction he might go. His unwavering dedication to social justice, humility, and compassion have won him admiration from people all around the world. Pope Leo XIII, the 14th, talked persuasively about the need for peace, love, and unity in his first speech to the world, which he gave from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica. His remarks struck a deep chord with the millions of people who had assembled to watch this momentous occasion, because they were straightforward, yet meaningful. He called on people of all religions to cooperate in creating a more compassionate and just world, saying that we should let our faith be a light of love and peace. The world, as well as the Catholic Church, face enormous obstacles. However, there is a feeling of optimism and the conviction that with Pope Leo XIV leading the charge, we might be able to negotiate these choppy waters as a team and come out stronger, closer, and more determined to create a better future for everybody. His appointment as Pope ushers in a new age of leadership and faith for the Catholic Church. Millions of people are still thinking about Pope Leo X's words as the sun sets on this historic day. In a world full of division and uncertainty, his call for social justice, peace, and togetherness is not only a vision for the Church, but also a call to action for all of us. His remarks serve as a reminder that everyone can contribute to creating a better future. We may all add to the fabric of a more compassionate world by doing good deeds, speaking up for what is right, or just sharing love and compassion. Let us continue the spirit of rebirth and optimism that Pope Leo IV exemplifies as we turn to the future. Let's take the lead in promoting justice, bringing about change, and fostering peace in our communities. And we cordially ask you to accompany us on this adventure as we continue to see history play out before our very eyes. To receive more updates and stories that uplift, educate, and fire the spirit of history, subscribe to our channel, History Unfolded.